Sorry to interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast, but there were some very important things that we needed to discuss before we get into the show. So, the first thing is, look who's demonetized. This guy. But look who is still going out there and risking his life to bring you the truth that the mainstream media refuses to give you. This guy. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little rundown of what I do and why it's important for me to keep doing it, as well as why you should help me continue doing this. Now, there's a lot of other people out there that do what I do, but not all of them are as good as I am. I'm here with the sole purpose of bringing you the truth. I am here with the sole purpose of showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. The truth is what matters in journalism. Now, I have been completely demonetized. I can't make any money doing this whatsoever. So there's a few different ways that people can help me out here. Number one, Patreon. For those of you who don't know, Patreon is a subscription-based program. It's a way that you can donate to people that you like and that you follow for a monthly subscription. And there's multiple different ways that you can do this. You can do this doing $1 a month. You can do it with $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, and $100 a month. It's up to you. You can pick whichever tier you want to do. And each tier comes with its own benefits, which you can see by clicking the link in the description of this video. The second option, and one that I hope I can get, is advertisers. Now, I reach millions upon millions of people globally. Now, if you want the potential to reach millions upon millions of people, my email is also in the description. Shoot me an email, let's talk about this, and we can come up with something that'll work for both of us. Of course, there's always the donation links that are in the description of the video as well. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and on with the show. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Well, some of you might have noticed I've been gone for 2 weeks. That's because I was in YouTube jail for 2 weeks for medical misinformation. You betcha. Good times. So I'm going to go ahead and start this thing off by just kind of talking about the importance of a couple things, like make sure you get on Rumble if you haven't already gone on there, and jump on Telegram. The links for both of those venues are in the description of the video. And that way, when I disappear, because YouTube's going to, the next strike I get, YouTube is going to erase me completely. So no appeals, no nothing. So that's fun. 2 strikes in the matter of a month for garbage. So with that said, I'm going to have to change some things when it comes to how I operate this YouTube channel. All of my hardcore footage is going to be going on to Patreon. Yeah, you bet I've still been busy. I'm going to be able to do, hopefully I'll still be able to do some shows on here. Like what I'm going to be doing today, where I'm going to be doing it's going to be just talk and stuff like that. All of my live streams, because what's been getting me in trouble are live streams and conversations that I have with people on live streams. And the weirdest thing about my last strike was that I was actually saying things that essentially went along CDC guidelines, but YouTube didn't like that. So fun, good times, all because this hag came up and argued with me over my opinion, because I didn't agree with her. So, I got a strike. Good times. So anyway, with that said, make sure you guys jump on Patreon if you have not already and support me. And that's where you're going to be seeing a lot of the actual footage that I showed last night, or that I filmed last night, and going forward, mainly because nobody else will, monetize it in the first place. It's not a kitten video, so Rumble won't monetize it. All of my live streams are going to be probably going on Facebook for a while, at the Common Sense Conservative on Facebook, the big page. It's got 500,000 subscribers, not the little one that's got 30,000 subscribers with the Paul Revere icon. I use the same icon for everything when it says the Common Sense Conservative. That's how you know it's me. So if you have Facebook, go on there. That's where I'll be live streaming events. And so it should be good. So moving on, last night in Portland, Oregon, we had another riot. I forgot to set it up, but if you're still on Twitter, you can see where I kind of trolled the police department on Twitter a little bit last night, because I was watching fireworks being thrown, and and things being thrown at the officers. And there was about 200 people sitting in front of the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. And there was no announcement from Portland PD or the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office as to there being a gathering, as there being the road being blocked, Burnside, which is a major road through Portland, being blocked. No, nothing at all. And then after maybe 20 minutes or so after I tweeted that, all of a sudden, there was an announcement from the police. But again, this has been going on for a while, and they've been blocking the roads for quite some time, but no announcement from Portland police or anything like that whatsoever. A lot of things got broken. The protesters actually were able to get up to the building and spray paint ACAB and some other stuff on there. And so I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of the footage that I got last night. Again, if you want to see the full meal deal, you're going to have to join me on Patreon because I got to make a living. So all of the main footage is going to be posted on Patreon. All it is $1 a month, and you get to see all of the big stuff. Here we go.
People in the fucking streets. What is your reason for me? You guys can see here where they...
Oops. Didn't mean to put that last bit in there, but that's funny because you'll see why that's there a little bit later. But hey, isn't that enough to wet your whistle? Huh? Isn't that enough to make you go, you know what? I think it'd be worth, subscribing for $1 a month, maybe 5 or 10 or more if you really appreciate me and what I do. And, me going out there and being a target and all that good stuff, putting my life on the line to bring you guys the truth. And the funniest thing about last night was that there was KGW out there. It's a local news station for those of you who aren't from the Portland metro area. They were out there and they were filming as well. But very, very little of their footage actually made it out. They filmed me too. Of course, even though KGW is usually pretty good, it's Coin6 that usually likes to film me a lot and zoom in on me. It sucks being 6'4" and a big guy and, kind of standing out because everybody's like, oh, he's a cop. I actually had people not call me a cop last night, but they called me security. They thought I was construction security. So that was fun. Which is cool because usually like all the rioters and protesters and stuff, they don't mess with people who are security. But if you're a cop, boy, they're on you. If they think you're a cop, they're on you. Or if they think that you're a right-wing filmer, well then, yeah, they're super on you. As a matter of fact, going back to Twitter, I tweeted a little something. They called out a guy who called himself an independent journalist. And to which I responded, Apparently you can only be a independent journalist if you're a communist, because that was exactly how they were coming about with what they were saying. So that's just a little piece of it. There was a lot of stuff that happened. They broke the church windows. It was gross. It was disgusting. You guys saw a little glimpse of it there, but there's quite a bit more. So join me on Patreon and you'll be able to see it. And now, just real quick. Oh, and the cops knew, by the way. The cops knew that this was going to happen. Just like tonight, the police actually put out a statement begging the protesters to play nice and to be peaceful because they're going to be going to the police association building tonight. It's everybody's aware. Everybody already knows what's going to happen. The building's probably going to catch on fire, and the cops are going to wait until it gets out of hand before they do anything. That's usually how it goes. So we'll see how tonight goes. I don't know if I'm going to go out and film tonight or not. It's really sketchy. You never know. There's a lot of things that go into it, and you don't like announcing when you're going to be going places. It's kind of a safety thing, So anyway, now for a word about one of my sponsors. Yeah, I got one of those. So a little something personal about me. I used to be a smoker. I smoked for 15 years, and the only way that I could quit and stay out of it was by vaping. And it made it a lot easier. It still had the hand-to-mouth motion. I don't stink anymore. I can smell things. I can taste things. It is amazing. No more nicotine. None of the negative health effects from smoking. And there's an alternative out there for people who chew as well. Check out these guys. Let me introduce you to Jake's Mint Chew. Jake's Mint Chew is a non-tobacco chew made from high-quality mint leaves, natural flavors, vegetable glycerin, water, and citric acid. It's nicotine-free, good for your digestion, a natural appetite suppressant, and good for your breath. Vegetable glycerin is used to naturally preserve and bring out the flavor in Jake's Mint Chew without causing tooth decay. Jake's Mint Chew Loose Cut packs like chewing tobacco. It's not overly gummy like other brands and has a shelf life of a year. Loose Cut is available in 11 delicious flavors: straight mint, wintergreen, natural spearmint, cinnamon, cherry, licorice, blackberry, apple spice, cranberry, brandy, cola, and more. Not to mention, specialty pouches are also available, such as Bold Brew pouches for coffee lovers, and CBD pouches as well in various flavors like straight mint, cherry, wintergreen, citrus, and more to come. Now, I'm not just talking about this stuff because they're paying me to do it. I'm talking about this stuff because it's a healthy alternative. It'll prevent your face from falling off and so many other benefits. So check them out, Jake's Mint Chew. Go to their website, and you can find the link in the description. Now on with the show. What do you think, huh? First commercial I've ever filmed. How'd you like that cinematography? That was great. I thought it was cool. I thought it was good. And to be honest, the stuff is actually really good. I used to chew back when I smoked, and I'd chew during hunting season because obviously, and even though you denied it, you stunk, so you just didn't want to smoke. But this stuff's really good. It's really good. It tastes great and it's amazing. So if you chew and you would like your face not to fall off, check those guys out. I saw during the commercial somebody asked if where's the dollar sign so that I can donate. It doesn't exist anymore. YouTube has killed it. YouTube has completely demonetized me. There is no super chat anymore at all. So I am stuck with Patreon now and the other donation links that are in the description: PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and so on. And that's what we got. That is where we are at in this world today. Being a conservative and having conservative thoughts of freedom and choice and so on, and personal responsibility, that gets you erased in America. So yeah, good times there for sure. So this next little bit I wanted to talk about, which unfortunately I did not set up correctly, so I have to do this really fast. But this next little bit that I want to talk about today is, we all know about the fella that got shot recently, right? And The officer was a 20-something-year veteran. She was president of the police association, I believe, and it was a really bad deal. It was a horrible deal. She thought she pulled her taser instead of her gun. She said taser, 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 and pulled the trigger on the guy. It sucks. It's horrible. That's a horrible thing to happen. Her life is probably over because of the mistake that she made. However, the problem I have with all of this is how many people are making it a race thing. It has nothing to do with race. Obviously, it has nothing to do with race. The majority of these killings, police shootings, and so on have very little to nothing to do with race. There might be an occasional period of time or person or incident that might have some sort of racial motivation, but as we all know, the vast majority of them is criminal and police officer, and somebody might die. Right? The police shooting that happened in Vancouver recently, dude had a gun, he pointed at the cops, he got shot. George Floyd is a horrible incident. And we're going through the trial right now, the Chauvin trial right now. And so the prosecution had their say. Now the defense is coming up. And, there's a lot of things that people are just jumping on really fast. It's a racially motivated thing, instead of actually first waiting for the facts to come out, waiting for the truth to come out. Even before the body cam footage came from the shooting that happened the other day, everybody was like, oh, it's a race thing. It's not. I mean, the dude had a warrant for having a gun without a permit, and so that's a problem, right? That's a danger thing right there. And then they had him out of the car. They were cuffing him. He resisted. He fought with the cops. He jumped in the car and started driving away. And then the lady tried tasing the guy before he could. That's just the facts of the cases that we can see from the video. I mean, she was in shock that she accidentally pulled her gun instead of her taser. That's a fact, right? So it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with a potentially dangerous criminal who potentially could have hurt or killed people with his vehicle, and he ended up hurting people with his vehicle, even though he was shot. So, these are things that people need to understand. You know how many people cars kill every year? It's more than guns kill every year. And that's including suicides with a gun. If you were to take just homicides away, or just homicides with a gun, it's a fraction. So cars are a very, very dangerous weapon, obviously. But I did a little thing here, and I wanted to show you guys the actual facts. Now, these are facts over feelings, people, because I think if people actually take a minute and see the facts, see the actual statistics and the actual true numbers, that it might make people sit there and think for a second and stop saying that, oh, cop shot person must be racist. All right, so let's give it a shot. In the United States in 2020, 1,021 people were shot and killed by police. 170 were Hispanic. 243 were black. 457 were white. As of 4/16/2021, 33 Hispanics have been shot. 52 blacks have been shot. And 109 whites have been shot by police. Also in 2020, 359 officers died in the line of duty. 45 being shot and 13 by vehicular assault. Already in the first 3 months of 2021, 97 officers have died. 15 being shot and 7 by vehicular assault. 4 by physical assault and 2 were stabbed. Meanwhile, in Chicago so far in 2021, 155 people have been killed. Washington, D.C., 55 killed, up 13%. Atlanta, Georgia, 35 killed, up 59%. Portland, 25 murders and 1,948 assaults. We do not have a cop problem. We do not have a gun problem. We have a society problem. Fix it. Now, I'm not just saying that society is bad because everybody's trash and people are just going out committing crimes and killing people and so on, even though that is true. I'm saying that we need to fix it because it's not a race thing. It's people jump on it all the time, right? People always jump on it's a race thing. People always jump on it's race, but nobody ever cares about the white people that got killed, the innocent white people that got killed, or those kids. Every single one of the people that I posted or the pictures on there, those are victims, and they all suck. We all wish and pray and hope that none of them ever had to die. The black people, the white people, the cops, the children, they all suck. And why can we not, as a society, sit there and go, that sucks? How can we fix that? Instead of just focusing, instead of letting the media control you and control your minds and control the narrative all the time by sensationalizing every single time a black guy gets killed. Even when it's justified. And they try to make it not. Like, remember, hands up, don't shoot? Justified. Dude in Portland, justified. The majority of them, the vast, vast majority of them are justified. And it's not just black. It's not just white. It's not just Hispanic. It's the vast majority of police shootings are justified. Period. It's not a race thing. It's not a cop thing. It's not a gun thing. It's a society thing. And if you really want to march and if you really want to try to make change, go to Chicago, go to Portland, go to Atlanta, go to DC and start doing something where, people are killing people. The numbers are there. You're crying about the cops shooting some criminals. But what about the innocent people that are dying? Nobody cares about that. I'm not saying nobody. I know everybody watching this cares. But how much, right? Like how many people on the left actually care about any of those cops that died? They think it's great. I've heard them. I've recorded them saying that it's good. You saw the pictures and the clips. Kill cops, kill cops. They believe that. They want that to happen. They think cops are the enemy. Which, don't get me wrong. Right now, as it is, and at least on the West Coast, the cops are the enemy to everybody. The cops don't do their job. They don't uphold their oath. They don't protect and serve. They don't keep the peace. They strictly follow orders and they do what they're told. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt or who's bleeding out in front of them. They do what they're told. So technically, right now, the cops are the enemy to everybody, but the cops are doing their job. They're trying to keep their jobs, right? It matters. Context matters. Everybody hates the cops right now. Both sides of the aisle. They hate them for different reasons. The left hates the cops because they think they're all racist, which they're not. You guys saw on that clip the dude coming up and screaming at the black cop for killing people. They just think all cops are bad because they go out and kill people indiscriminately. 1,000 people out of 360 million people is pennies. It's nothing. That's 1,000-ish criminals that are no longer on the street. Most of these people who keep going to jail are repeat offenders. I heard a study. I wish I had the numbers. It was nuts. It was like 75% of people in jail are repeat offenders. Usually for the same crime. I'm not saying, yay, go kill more criminals. I'm saying that our justice system is broken. I'm saying that from the police to our laws, to our enforcement, to our district attorneys, to our Soros attorneys, it's broken. We all know it's broken, and we can fix it if we start doing things, if we start standing up, if we start protesting, if we start doing, I don't know, maybe civil disobedience. I don't know. We can do things without, going to jail that could make a statement. If enough people would do it, if enough people would get angry enough to do it. We can change the narrative if we educate people, if we show people the truth. I was watching Fox the other day, and Geraldo, whatever his name is, Geraldo was going nuts, and Dan Bongino shut him down. And Geraldo was just like, oh, look at all these black moms that are crying because their black youth is getting killed by the police. And it's not even true, first of all. But he's the epitome. He's the perfect example of the left and their crybaby lying narrative. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe this live here will get me shut down off of YouTube permanently because I'm stating facts, and it goes against the narrative, just like my last live video. What happened. So again, make sure you guys click the links in the description and jump on the alternatives, because you never know how long I'm still going to be able to be here. So with that said, I have one more sponsor I want to show you guys. So as many of you know, I'm a big history guy. I love history. I love nonfiction history. I love fictional history. And I want to let you guys know about some awesome books about Vlad the Impaler. I know a lot of you think you know about Vlad the Impaler. You've heard about how he was such a horrible person and so on. But if you like reading and if you like history, you got to check out these books. Voivod is a historically accurate book series about Vlad the Impaler, also known as Real Life Dracula. It's epic and reads like fantasy. The author was not a Christian and was not even really conservative, and originally set out to write something about Dracula as a tyrant. As soon as he started doing research, he accidentally red-pilled himself. The real Vlad the Impaler was a devout Christian who fought Muslim slavers, enforced border security to protect his people, and was hated by the mainstream media of his time. Sound familiar? Now, the way that these books are written is they're fictional, but they actually have historical backing to back them up. And it's a 4-book series, and all 4 books lay out the tale of Vlad the Impaler. And don't forget, I wrote a book too, also on Amazon, The True and Detailed Racist History of the Democrat Party. And on with the show. Hey, second commercial I ever made. Pretty cool, huh? But yeah, definitely check out the book, and my book, obviously. But yeah, so I mean, that was the stuff I really wanted to talk about today. Make sure you check out all the alternatives. I'm going to go ahead and go through the comments here really quick and chat with you guys for a moment. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sending out the video. The more people that can see it, the better. Yes, $20 Patreon gets me Discord access. And I already answered the question. The $, the super chat thing is gone because I am demonetized. The media acts like they are the prosecution, 100%. And the fact that the media and social media will sit there and completely destroy anything else that goes on. I mean, they took down the Texas governor's what'd they call it? It was a forum. It was a panel with like medical experts, and they were talking about the efficacy of masks. And YouTube took it down. YouTube took it down and said it went against medical guidelines. And it's insane because all it is people chatting. It's their opinion, because it goes against one or two people's idea, even though it's a debated idea, they took it down. And it is insane the power that these people have. It is insane the amount of power that the social media companies and giants have, because there's very little alternatives out there. The mainstream media won't share your opinion. I don't have a platform. My platform is gone completely if I get kicked off of YouTube and Facebook. I mean, I'm already hurt really bad because, I mean, I got 50 people watching this right now as I speak. When I post it onto Facebook with 500,000 people on there, I'll be lucky if maybe 10,000 people see it. And that's lucky. That's huge. Lately it's horrible. Let's see. What is the best vape out there? So the best the best vape out there, honestly. You said it was a little harsh. Now, the reason it's harsh is because of the nicotine content. When I first quit smoking, I think it was like 30 milligrams of nicotine or something like that. I'm now down to 0. And the main thing is if it's too harsh, bring it down. That harshness is the nicotine. Also, if you're quitting smoking, most of the giant vape things are just, just straight vape to lung, and they have other ones that are mouth to lung, like it's more like natural when you're smoking, and it's a lot easier to adjust with that. Is Springer season over? No, there are still sea lions in the river, and there's still people catching fish. Another thing though, I did want to say about how like this channel is going to transition. I know a lot of people really liked my tiny cooking video. I'll be doing more of those. Like it really, and it sucks that I'm going to have to do this, but YouTube is going to become more G-rated, PG-rated, with a little bit less controversy, unfortunately, because it's a thin rope. I got 90 days that I have to mind my P's and Q's 110%, or else I literally am disappeared. I'm gone. The majority of you will never see me again. And that's why I say repeatedly, if you're not on Facebook, okay, I get it. Go on Telegram or join me on Patreon. Patreon's where you're going to see the really good footage. Rumble, you're going to see some okay footage. All my live streams are going to be live streamed on Facebook, but I will download those and I will post them on Rumble, so you'll be able to see them there. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for today anyway. There's a lot of stuff going on coming up in the future, so I think I might be buffering a little bit because I'm moving too much. But so thank you guys for watching. How am I doing financially? Am I hanging in there? I have 1 month. I have 1 month to find out. I have one last paycheck coming from YouTube, and I don't know how it's going to be after that. I know I don't have enough patrons yet to survive. And I'm only going to get donations with PayPal and so on through my live streaming, typically. So, if I'm not able to live stream on YouTube, well, it's going to suck. And people on Facebook are really finicky. They're very like, oh, this is boring. And then they leave. Like nobody cares about the conversation. Usually, it's pretty, Facebook is it's a totally different beast. They're there for the 3 minutes of action, and that's it. If people aren't bleeding, they don't care. It's weird. It's very weird. We'll see how it goes. We'll get used to it. Maybe we'll see. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully all you guys join me on Patreon and Facebook. But with that said, guys, I really thank you guys for watching. And I will see you all again, hopefully, soon, doing other cool things. Bye, guys.